Hello, and welcome to NEIU's Student Government Association's 2020 Spring Elections Candidate Orientation. My name is Veronica Rodriguez, and I am the Director of the Office of Student Leadership Development. Normally, this would have been done in person, but due to current circumstances, we have moved to an online format. The expectation is that you will have watched this video as well as filled out the candidate registration form no later than April 2nd at 5 p.m. The candidate registration form can be accessed on the SLD website under SGA Elections tab. If you have any questions or problem regarding registering as a candidate, please contact me at v-rodriguez9@neiu.edu. This presentation will cover the rules of the election process as well as the roles and responsibilities of the various positions in SGA. First, I will go over the role of the Election Commission. They are an impartial body of faculty, staff, and students who oversee the SGA elections and enforce the election code. They review any violations that are reported, hold informal hearings, and impose penalties, which could include disqualification. Please comply with any requests from the Commission. The best way to reach the Commission is to email sgaelections2020@gmail.com. Here are the names of the Commission as well as their roles on campus. Here are all the positions up for re-election this spring. I will go over the roles of each position in the following slides. The President is the Chief Executive of SGA. They have several responsibilities, including leading cabinet meetings, reviewing the budget with the Treasurer, and appointing the justices with Senate approval. They can veto COC decisions, are expected to serve on various university-wide committees, as well as make speeches at events such as orientation or Golden Eagle Welcome Day. Although they can sponsor legislation and participate in Senate debate, they do not have a vote in Senate. The Vice President is the chair of the Senate. They create the agenda and legislative documents for Senate meetings, appoint senators and COC representatives to ad hoc committees, and acts on behalf of the President when they are not available. They cannot debate in Senate and only vote in the case of a tie. They must learn Robert's Rules of Order as they are the main parliamentarian. The Treasurer, who is also the chair of the Council of Clubs, creates and manages the SGA budget and reports back to Senate. As chair of COC, they run the weekly meetings, which allocates funding to student organization programs. The Secretary is the official record keeper of the SGA. They take minutes at all meetings. They also upload minutes, agendas, and legislation to the Collegiate Link page. They must understand parliamentary procedures as they are the second parliamentarian. The Communications and Public Relations Director leads the marketing and recruitment efforts of SGA. They maintain the social media presence of SGA, create the SGA newsletter, and develop a marketing plan to make students aware of what SGA is working on. This includes keeping the SGA webpage updated. The Chief of Staff serves as the advisor to the President and Vice President, manages executive board projects, follows up with members with absences, conducts training of new members, and acts as the Sergeant of Arms during Senate meetings. They also conduct performance evaluation of members and handle stipend paperwork. They do not have a vote in Senate. The Illinois Board of Higher Education deals with issues of higher ed within the state of Illinois. The IBHE SAC representative sits on the Student Advisory Committee as NEIU's representative. They must be able to travel around the state to monthly meetings. Travel costs are covered by SGA. They also sit on NEIU's University Advisory Council. They are able to sponsor legislation and have a vote in Senate. The student trustee is the only student to have a vote on the Board of Trustees. They will vote on issues such as tuition and fee increases, major projects, and appointments. The board meets once per quarter at NEIU. The student trustee does not get a vote in Senate, and this position, by state mandate, they must be enrolled for 12 credit hours during their term, both fall and spring semesters, and must maintain a 2.5 cumulative GPA. All of these positions mentioned are part of what is considered the executive board. Now I will discuss the benefits and requirements of these positions. All these positions receive a stipend with the exception of the student trustee. Stipends are divided in half. Students will receive half of the stipend at the end of the fall semester and the other half of the stipend at the end of the spring semester. The president and treasurer each receive $2,000 for the term. Vice president and chief of staff, $1,500 for the term. IBHE SAC, $600 for the term. Secretary and communications director, $800 for the term. The student trustee is not paid per government mandate. The president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, PR, chief of staff, IBHE SAC, and trustee all share an office in the lower level of the E building by the student lounge below the bookstore. All must attend Senate meetings, which occur every other Tuesday at 3 p.m., as well as cabinet meetings, which meet on the alternate Tuesdays at 3 p.m. They are all expected to maintain office hours and, with the exception of the student trustee, must maintain a 2.25 cumulative GPA. The student trustee must maintain a 2.5. Next, we will speak about the senators. The senators make up the legislative branch of the Student Government Association. It is their responsibility to go out and speak to Northeastern students to determine issues that students are facing on campus, and then in turn write legislation about that to bring the issues to the attention of the administration. They receive a stipend of $500 per year, which is received at the end of each semester. They're able to write legislation, vote on it. They approve appointments to the justices or any vacancies. They are part of ad hoc committees. They are on standing committees, which are the Student Life Committee, Academic Affairs Committee, Appointments and Promotion, and Charter and Regulations. They have access to the Senate Resource Room, which is in the lower level of the E building off the Student Lounge. They must attend Senate every other Tuesday at 3:05, and on the alternate Tuesdays, they must attend their committee meetings. They must maintain a GPA of 2.0 cumulative. There is a specific senator for CCICS and for El Centro. Those representatives receive an extra $50 stipend per semester, and each of the committees has a chair, which also brings an additional $50 stipend. Next, we will talk about the Council of Clubs representatives, also known as COC reps. The Council of Clubs is the funding branch of the student government. Student organizations are able to seek funding from the student government in order to put on programs. They go before the COC with budget requests weekly. The COC representatives review the requests and vote accordingly. COC meets every Thursday at 3 p.m. to hear proposals. They also receive a stipend of up to $500 per year. They help regulate and distribute the student activity fee, which all students pay into. They also review new club charters for new organizations that are starting on campus. They must maintain a 2.0 cumulative GPA, and they also must attend the standing committees every other Tuesdays at 3 o'clock. If Senate is all about going out and finding what issues are on campus, COC is about students coming to them to request funding and to request recognition. Now for some important information that you need to know in order to be a registered candidate for the election. You must fill out the candidate registration, which is an online form, which is located on the SLD website under the SGA Elections tab. This form is mandatory if you wish to be on the ballot and is due by April 2nd by 5 p.m. There is an optional opportunity to have your bio and picture put on the website as well as on the ballot and included in the Independent, which will be running online content. If you wish to have your picture and or bio, please have that turned in by April 1st at noon. Please provide a nice headshot photo. Anybody who does not do the candidate registration form on time can still be a write-in. We will discuss write-ins later, but please note that write-ins, bios, nor pictures will appear on the SLD website nor on the ballot. You may campaign from April 2nd through the ending of elections, which is April 10th. Voting will go live on Saturday, April 4th at 8 a.m., and polls will close on Friday, April 10th at 4 p.m. Students may vote for one person in each executive officer position, but may vote for up to 3 senators and 3 COC representatives. Voting can take place on any computer through the Collegiate Link website. You will all receive a targeted announcement with the voting link. Campaigning can begin on Friday, April 3rd, and run all the way through the ending of the election on April 10th. Obviously, this year, campaigning will look very different since you will not be on campus and be able to post flyers and talk to classes. So it will require you to be a little bit more creative in reaching out to friends. You may register as a team, meaning that you can find another friend who is running for vice president if you're running for president and somebody else who's running for secretary or a senator. Teams are beneficial because all your friends will vote for them and all their friends will vote for you. However, it is not a ticket in the common sense of the word. You may win your position, they may not win theirs. You must let me know that you are registering a team. All people on the team must send an email to me, Veronica Rodriguez, saying that you are part of this team. Many teams come up with names like the Golden Team or the Eagle Squad or things like that. You will be doing all of your campaigning electronically this year, so here are what is allowed and prohibited. You may not send a mass email to individuals on a listserv, meaning if you're on a listserv because you are a social work major and there's a listserv for all the social work majors, you may not send out something like that. You may not post something on your D2L classroom and send a mass message, but you can send individual emails to people asking them to vote for you. You can put campaigning information on your own Facebook page or your own Instagram page or anything like that. If you are going to send an email, you must include this disclaimer. Everybody who registers will get the disclaimer. The disclaimer basically tells the person receiving the email that they are receiving it because they are being campaigned to, and if they for some reason did not want this or feel like they are being harassed, it tells them where to go to file a complaint. Like I mentioned earlier, anyone who does not get their candidate registration form turned in by April 2nd may still run as a write-in candidate. Anyone running as a write-in candidate must get at least 25 students to write in their name, first and last, spelled correctly in the box under the position that they are running for in order to be considered. Most candidates running for senator or COC rep, if they get at least 25 students' names, will most likely win. However, only 25 names is not enough to win in a position such as president, vice president, if the candidate on the ballot receives more. If a write-in candidate is elected, they must submit the form accepting the position before April 14th, which is when the results will be ratified by Senate. This way, they are agreeing to the requirements for the next year of the position and know what they will be expected to do. Some information on the ballot. The ballot will go live Saturday, April 4th at 8 a.m. All students will be sent out a link to know where to go to vote. Placement on the ballot under each position is randomized. So every time a different person logs in, someone else is listed first. Teams are not clustered together on the ballot. You are together with the position you are running for. So all the people running for president are together, vice president together, etc. The person with the most votes is the winner, regardless of the number of candidates. So if you are running unopposed, you still need to get at least 5 votes in order to win. The top 20 senators and top 12 COC vote receivers will be the winners. If there happens to be a tie, that will be broken by Senate and COC. If the election commission disqualifies you, then the next person with the next number of votes will be the winner. Results will be posted shortly after 4 p.m. on Friday, April 10th. They will be posted to the SLD website under the SGA tab, although that might take a little bit longer. But they will also be posted right away on the Facebook page of SGA, and all candidates will also receive an email. Now for some important dates. The results of the election will be ratified at the Senate meeting, which will take place on April 14th at 3 p.m. and will be held virtually. Swearing in for the new positions will take place at the passing of the gavel on April 21st at 3 p.m., also to be held virtually. There is an all SGA meeting, which takes place in May. That is to be determined at this time until we know when we can return to campus. And then there is an overnight mandatory retreat from Friday, August 7th at 8:30 a.m. until Saturday, August 8th at 5 p.m. This takes place off campus and is required for all new members. Please refer to the Election Conduct Code for any actions that might lead to disciplinary sanctions. This could be lying, forgery, slander, abuse, racial slurs, intimidation, defamation. Any of those can lead to a violation, which could lead to disqualification. If you wish to report a violation, there is a Google form of which you may do so. This form will be sent out to all registered candidates. Each violation will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis by the Election Commission, who will have 24 hours to convene. They might find a remedial disciplinary action, such as a verbal or written warning, or it can go all the way to disqualifications. And of course, any action that violates Northeastern's Student Code of Conduct will be also turned over to the Dean of Students for review. By watching this video, you are agreeing to the following candidate certification. My participation in the forthcoming election will be undertaken in accordance with and will be governed by all applicable university policies and campus regulations, the SGA Constitution and bylaws, and the Student Government Election Code, as interpreted and implemented by the Election Commission. I acknowledge that I may receive sanctions and or be disqualified from the election process upon infraction of the election code. In closing, I know this is unconventional and uncharted territory in terms of elections, so just good luck, do your best, connect with as many friends and classmates as possible, utilize social media responsibly, review the election packet, and ask the commission if you have any questions. Good luck and see you soon.